Hi folks, today we're talking about Cabernet Franc that is, from one of my favorite producers in the northeast quadrant of Italy known as Friuli, Tenuta Luisa. You're in for a treat because the recipe we picked to pair with this is phenomenal. You're going to love this together. Stay tuned. All right, so now about that dish. Come on, take a look at that. It's fried sausage, essentially. So let me tell you a little more instead of just saying that. This is chorizo. Chorizo, if you're not familiar, is a pork sausage, and it's usually done with a lot of paprika and a little bit of like warming spices in there. So yeah, it's a little spicy, but it's not going to set you on fire, but a little bit of heat, and that's probably what I like so much about it. You can find them in most grocery stores. If you've got a local butcher, that would be a fantastic option. Not that hard to find. Anyway, so what we did, couldn't be any easier, is we took a frying pan, a cast iron skillet that is, and about 12-inch would be fine. You could do medium, you could do small, any of those would work. Throw it on the oven top right around medium heat, maybe medium high. You want to keep an eye on the heat on this dish, really important. But you cut the sausage into about inch thick coins. Keep it in the casing. You're going to put it in that pan with a little bit of olive oil, and you're going to caramelize it. You're basically going to cook it off, and when it starts to smell really warm and spicy, and you get those like beautiful dark brown edges, like you can see here, that's when you want to take out some of the fat, drain it out a little bit, put it back on the heat, lower the heat a touch, and you're going to have 2 cloves of garlic that you basically smashed with the back of your knife. Not pulverized to a pulp or a paste, but just enough to crack the skin and flatten them a bit. You're going to take 2 cloves, throw them in the pan, and you're getting that just a couple minutes to work together and reduce down even more. And while that's happening, when you get to that point, you're going to take a tablespoon of honey, pick your favorite. I always go with local. If you can find it, great. If not, don't sweat it. And then to follow that, you put in a 1/4 cup of red wine vinegar. And let all of that cook down and reduce, and basically it makes this freaking ridiculous pork fat jam around the chorizo, and it's spicy, it's sticky, it's sweet, and it's really good. And if you didn't want to just have it full on cocktail style like we're doing, because we're just having it with the wine, you could easily take your favorite bread, get a couple of big slices, take a clove of garlic that you didn't use, rub it on the bread, hit it with some olive oil, and put it in that same pan and just give it a quick, like, you're almost searing it, you're toasting it quickly. That'd be great with it. A side salad, I don't know, have some fun with it. But it's so good we're having it just on its own. A little decadent, but whatever. We're gonna have some fun. Anyway, so what we're having with it is, you've heard me mention this before, Tenuta Luisa, one of my favorite properties. It's a family-owned winery in Friuli, which is the northeast quadrant of Italy. So you're kind of way up here. You're going to find Venice on the map, and they're above that, or Friuli's above that. And they're located in an area known as Isonzo, which is between the Alps and the ocean, and it creates this amazing microclimate, very unique to the area. Of course, it has unique soil, because it's its own little spot. It has what a word I typically avoid is called terroir, but it tastes like where it's from, and that's what's so great about this wine. I know many of you have heard of Cabernet Sauvignon, and if you like that, you're going to fall in love with this grape. The difference is, yeah, there's a lot of dark fruit here. Maybe it's not as heavy in plum and black cherry, but there's some beautiful notes of blackberry here, some dried cherries. But what's really cool about Cabernet Franc is it has this little spice to it, almost like a peppercorn or even a roasted pepper, and it's not overpowering, but there's a nuance to it. So right when you kind of get all that fruit on your palate, you start to notice the spice on the back end. It is fantastic. There's also just a touch on the finish of bergamot. If you don't know what bergamot is, it's essentially what's in English breakfast tea. And no, this doesn't taste like tea, but there's just this wonderful bloom of that tiny, tiny hint of bergamot, and it's just amazing on its own. But when you put up the spicy dish like this, it's phenomenal. More about the winery. This is actually a family-owned winery, Luisa. It is under the guidance of Father Eddie and 2 brothers, Davide and Michele. I'm going to put it in very simple terms. It's the work in the field, in the vineyards, and the care that goes into growing the grapes that creates beautiful wine. Certainly you have to know how to be a good winemaker or be a good winemaker to create a good bottle of wine, but it's like any chef would tell you, without good ingredients, you can't make a good dish. It's A lot of heart and soul and passion goes into what they do here. They are famous for their white wines, but I would say they're equally famous for their red wines. Absolutely worth trying, and I couldn't have made it any easier for you. There's the label. There's the name of the grape. If you don't see it, ask for it. Take a screenshot. Highly recommended. And I cannot wait to crack this open and have a few bites of these. I'm probably gonna eat all this myself. I'll try to share with my cameraman, but I'm not making any promises. Cheers. All right, folks, if you've seen any of these videos, you know we're not quite done yet. I went on and on about the food, told you the great story and all the great qualities behind Cabernet Franc and the family that is Tenuta Luisa. But we always do one other thing, and that's a soundtrack. We need a soundtrack for what we're doing this evening. So, Otis Redding. What do I say? It's Otis Redding. It's just fantastic. If the guy made a bad song, I haven't heard it. This is the best of, so I'm cheating a little bit, but that's okay because I'm going to be busy eating and drinking. I don't want to have to get up and constantly change the album or flip the side over, so it's a bit of a long play, if you will. Just, really cool. If you don't have it on vinyl, don't sweat it. Just stream it. It's joyful. It's soulful. The guy is a gift. What great cocktail music. It'll instantly lift your mood. It's good background music, but it's not boring. I'm going on and on and on, and I don't think I need to. It's absolutely fantastic. So I strongly recommend having Cabernet Franc with Otis Redding and this delicious chorizo dish. And I think maybe we should dig in, huh? Allow me. Cheers. Until next wine.